Well, loads of us piled on the pounds at Christmas. Hopefully a month of exercise and healthy eating will knock us back into shape. Britain's fattest man, Paul Mason, ballooned to 70 stone thanks to consuming 20,000 calories a day. This wasn't over Christmas. This was for a longer period. This was over years. And he's cost the taxpayer £100,000 a year in extra care and medical costs. You know, £2,000 a week. And now he's suing the NHS for not helping him to lose more weight. Should gluttons be punished? Now, a lady I've spoken to on the radio before, Fatima Parker from the International Size Acceptance Association. You feel stigmatized by all this, don't you? People saying, oh, there should be a fat tax. People saying, oh, these people should be made to pay.
Yes, because first of all, we are insulted. We are made into gluttons. It's generalization. You were talking about discrimination and about stigmatizing and humiliating. And there you're taking a whole community, or not even community, because you find 5 people all over the world in different races and colors, but we choose to be made to feel inferior. We are subhuman, and
subhuman.
Of course, but they show us in newspapers without heads. Yes. We are dehumanized.
What do you think about what's happening in America, for example? Some of the US airlines have a policy whereby if you are what they term oversized, you've got to buy an extra seat. And you only get your money back if the plane is not full. You only get a refund in that situation.
I mean, we've debated that in our association. We are a big movement actually in America, and we said if the person is big and they will be uncomfortable sitting in one seat, or they will, like I'm doing to my colleague here, taking half of the seat from him, so they'll probably, I don't want to inconvenience myself.
No, those are your expressive arms. That's completely different.
Thank you, Nicky.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for us to be able to pay double in aeroplanes, and now my friends here want us to pay in buses and so on, we have to have the same opportunities in life. We have to be, first of all, have respect, dignity. We have to be treated as human beings. I could be somebody's mother, sister, grandmother, daughter, and so on. We have to be judged as well on our skills, on our humans, on our religion, and on the way how we behave in life, not because we look big. There are so many reasons for us to look big, apart from us gluttoning and eating. Not all fat people eat too much. Right? And then with the cost of living now, who can afford to eat?
Yeah, but it's the cheap food that is very, very bad for us, isn't it? Isn't that the point? Tam Fry from the Obesity Forum. How would a fat tax work?
A fat tax has to be extremely well judged. There is no way that we could stigmatize people, and we have to be very careful about putting on a tax which might disadvantage families that have a low income. That is absolutely essential. But there are a lot of foods which cause a lot of damage, which actually are not essential for the life, and that's
the fault. I mean, this is not my fault. If the producers of the food make it already unhealthy, they use high fructose corn syrup and so on. So it's not only the thing is that when the title of the segment is "Should we punish
gluttony be punished?
Yeah, so the gluttony be punished.
It's a biblical reference there, you know.
Yes, but gluttony in the Bible, it doesn't say fat people are the gluttons and the only gluttons, and gluttony is only food.
Yeah.
In our society,
I've had my moments of gluttony. We've all had our moments of gluttony, haven't we?
And then if we go into even in the Greek people, if we're looking at the relationship between gluttony and obesity, extreme morbid obesity, in history, there is only one of the tyrants that is being shown as the one who has put on a lot of weight, and even Hercules was a glutton, but he wasn't very big.
You've met your match. Anyway, let's come to you, and then I'll come right back to you. Yes,
please do.
I think we do a lot as a society to exclude people. We need to do a lot more to include people. So it goes around with education and training, top-down policies as well as local policies. Jamie Oliver is a good example where, you know, the government is saying healthy eating, but look at what's being served in the canteen. We can't be double standard. We can't exclude people from society.
There's all these food programs. It's like a kind of pornography. People are sort of watching it and enjoying it, but they're doing. Sorry,
gastro porn.
Thank you. That's the phrase I was looking for.
I was going to say that, particularly in the very poorer areas, what strikes me is the plethora of planning permissions that are given to low food, junk food, fast.
These are small businesses. We should be encouraging small businesses.
Fine. But then, if that area then, has a problem with obesity because you're selling $1.99 burgers at 15 outlets across a high street, then society can't really point the finger at those who then put on the weight.
A point here, please. Sorry, Nicky.
Fatima, hello.
If we could please change the language. Problem with obesity, war on obesity, fat hate, fat people are ugly. This is affecting the young people now. Lots of young girls.
What do you want to do? Do you want to? We were, one other debate this week has been, in Huckleberry Finn, the classic text, taking the N-word out. What do you want to do? Go through old history books and take the F-word out?
No. I mean, as the journalist said, what was in the past is in the past. We have to improve things and look at our society and how the harm it is of the language, because it creates stress, and stress creates all the diseases that obesity is blamed for.
Mehdi Hasan.
I'm very sympathetic with what Fatima's saying. I think we talked about, gluttons be punished as individuals. And I think it's very fashionable in society now to say, if a fat person's fat, it's their fault. And to an extent it is. I'm not going to take away individual responsibility.
£2,000 a week in care costs.
But, the government's own best studies, a Foresight report a few years ago, came up with the phrase obesogenic society. We live in a society where we are more inclined to eat calorie-rich food. We're surrounded by food. We're surrounded by cheap, fatty foods. Yes. You cannot then expect the society to end up by anything else than obese. Look at the United States.
What about personal responsibility?
It's not that easy just to talk about personal responsibility.
Isn't it?
Well, I'll give you an example. If you're from a poorer family and from a poorer area, Lee mentioned the poor areas, and everywhere you go to eat is a cheap chicken shop on the corner, and that's what you can afford, and you don't know what the next meal's going to be, you're going to eat a lot of that chicken at a discounted price.
Come on, that's the same argument that's sometimes used about crime, isn't it? It is entirely up to you. I mean, obviously, I'm hardly sylph-like myself. Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Lee. Thank you. I'm hardly sylph-like myself, but it's entirely up to you what you eat, and the idea that if you're poor, you're going to gravitate towards some sort of McDonald's type menu for your life is ridiculous. You can make home-cooked stuff, calorie-controlled. Hold on, calorie-controlled stuff. You don't need to go down to the old barbecue shop every single night of the week. And I think it's a disgraceful attack on ordinary poor people to say you're going to be fat because you haven't got the brains to work out if you go into that shop you're going to put weight on. It's a ludicrous.
It's not about brains. It's about education. If you don't understand, if you're not taught the importance of healthy eating, if you don't have in your area healthy supermarkets, not everyone has a weight
rationing only ended in 1956. Hold
on a second. What did you say there?
I said not everyone may have a Waitrose around the corner like you do.
There is a Waitrose, but there's a Sainsbury's, there's a Tesco's. You can go to lots of places. They all do good food.
Kelvin, look. With the greatest respect, I know you write a Sun column, but let's bring some statistics into this, right? When you're 7 years old, International Journal of Obesity report, kids who are 7 years old, if from poorer families, are more likely to be obese when they're 33 than kids from richer households. That's a study of 13,000 children. I know you don't do it with facts, but that is the fact.
Why not have a fact?